Gentlemen, welcome to another attempt at one of these fun videos without hopefully the whole awful screw up from last time. That is incompetence. It should be a little bit clearer now, a little bit nicer. We'll see, I guess. I was able to remember to turn my phone sideways, but I am still using like an older phone than I did last time. So it's possible it'll still look crappy. Who knows? But I'm hoping not. That's my prayer here. So, gentlemen, today we have got a nice stiff cocktail for you. This one is called the Revolver. It is named such because it is bourbon based or whiskey, depending on whatever whiskey you have, obviously. But again, cocktails tend to specify the specifics, but I am not picky and do not encourage you to be as picky, because then you would have to have 4 different types of whiskeys in your bar or something. Not everybody wants to do that. You're welcome to. I do, but sometimes you just want one bottle that you can work with. Anyway, so after, named Revolver, bourbon, like old Western stuff, I guess. Specifically, actually, the cocktail calls for bullet bourbon, which is one of my favorite kinds. Which, Revolver, bullet, whatever. But then also, one of the more key things is that it does call for a flamed orange peel as a garnish instead of a typical orange peel. I believe I have done flamed orange peel on one of these videos before, because it's pretty easy. So I'll do it again, obviously, so you'll see. But another thing you can do if you have like a cocktail smoking kit is you could try just smoking the cocktail itself, which you would be surprised at how effective that can be to imparting deliciousness into your cocktail. So, but that's neither here nor there. What is here and there is this cocktail, and I have a single question. Hopefully, as the weeks go on, I'll see more questions, but it's okay if I don't. I understand. People are busy. Life goes on. But the one question I did get was from Nick, and he just wants to know where he should plan his next vacation, which I don't know. I guess that'll be for us to decide, huh, gentlemen? All right. Well, let's get started making a drink while I think about vacation destinations. Hopefully the recipe will show up now, and it won't be all screwed up. All right, so first things first, 2 dashes of orange bitters. If you're somebody who just carries one type of bit, like you don't have a whole different bunch of bitters in your house, you just have the Angostura and that's it, that's fine. Just use 2 dashes of those. It'll make a little bit of a difference in the drink, but not enough to, make it a disaster. So, again, bitters are another one of those things where you could really load up on so many different types that you wouldn't really know. I've got bitters there that I use for like one specific cocktail, so they just sit there. And that stuff, it's mostly alcohol, but it still will go bad if you give it long enough. And then it's ½ ounce of coffee liqueur. I am using Kahlua. I often use Mr. Coffee, or there's a local distillery that makes coffee liqueur here. That's pretty good. But for this drink in particular, I think it's nice to use Kahlua because Kahlua has that rum addition as opposed to a vodka or a brandy or something. And I think it gives it just a little more sweetness. In fact, I would recommend, if you are using like a Mr. Coffee or a different coffee liqueur that's maybe not as sweet as a Kahlua, feel free to maybe put like a teaspoon of simple syrup along with this. There's another cocktail, I'm not going to make it because it's basically the same thing, called Mr. Brown, and it's 2 ounces of bourbon, 3/4 of an ounce of coffee liqueur, and then a teaspoon of simple syrup. That's really the only difference, is a slightly more coffee liqueur and some simple syrup. But if you look at the recipe, this cocktail is essentially an old fashioned, but you're replacing simple syrup with a slightly sweet alcohol, in this case coffee liqueur. But again, some people don't, some people have a less sweet coffee liqueur and maybe they want a little something extra. To each their own. And then we will do 2 ounces of bourbon. Now, Nick wants to go on a vacation and he wants us to tell him where to go. Uh-oh. Let's see. Now, it would be disingenuous of me to recommend a place I've never been. But I'm not sure if there's any places I've been that Nick also has not been to. I guess I could say China. I enjoyed my time there, but I don't know if now is the best time to be traveling there. But you will get a lot of really good food. And there's some pretty cool stuff to see there. I know you've been to Italy. I don't know about Spain. I had a really good time when I was in Spain. Barcelona's got some really beautiful architecture and drunkenness. That can be a lot of fun. And a lot of history, which I know Nick is into. Okay, now we'll pause from that while I go get some ice to stir this drink with, and I will be right back. I told you I'd be back, and here I am stirring this drink. About 15 seconds, the recipe says. Maybe I'll include that in the picture of the recipe so you guys know I'm not crazy when I say that they actually specify. But who cares, I guess. What were we talking about? Oh yes, Nick and vacation. I mean, you can also just do like a United States trip. I don't know if you've done like an Amtrak sleeper car type thing, but I had a lot of fun doing that. It's relaxing, so if you're an ANC restless person, you might not like it, but if you're the kind of person that enjoys lounging and having some cocktails and reading books and playing board games and looking out windows at various terrain and stuff, and then, you can like take a train to whatever city in California or something and spend 4 days there, and then take the train up to Seattle and spend 4 days there, and then take the train over to whatever cool city there might exist somewhere in Montana and stay there. Like it's not all on the train, but it's a part of it, Oh yeah, I already did that. Anyway, that's what I'm going to go with for my recommendation. Take a nice train trip across this country. Or go to Canada. Vancouver is a really, really fun city. So, there you go. Take that, Nick. All right. Now, this cocktail also will call for a chilled glass instead of on ice. But again, it just depends on the drink, I guess. But a lot of the times I kind of like having a single ice cube instead of a chilled coupe or chilled glass. So, to each their own. But that's what I chose to do. Delicious looking already. And I haven't even done the fun part yet. Oh no. Ugh. All right, I have to pause it again while I get a peeler for my orange. All right, I'm back. Got a nice peel. That should be good for burning, flaming. Get that deliciousness. Okay, let's see if I can do this with the single match that I have. Uh-oh. Oh, come on. Yeah. Okay. Now you got a little bit of smokiness in your drink, and you hopefully didn't burn your finger. Fantastic. That's a nice cocktail that'll do you right, especially on a late Thursday night when you're trying to stay up watching football. Give you just a little hint of coffee flavoring and I guess coffee to keep you going through those bad football games, or good ones. I don't know. Well, gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video more than the last one, and I hope you all win your games except for Pete, who's playing me, and I want him to lose so that I may win. And also, the rest of you can't all win, or that wouldn't make sense. Anyway, cheers, gentlemen, to a nice weekend, and we'll look forward to another one next week.